We're going to present a director's commentary on Evaluation Task 4. We chose the song How You Like Me Now by The Heavy. There was already a music video for this song, but we decided to make a better one because the original didn't use any conventions. The lyrics allowed us to devise and present a clear narrative within the video as well as a performance cut. We drew out storyboards and filmed these to create an animatic. This allowed us to see what our overall video would look like and how long each shot would be. We also cut to the beat and saw which shots worked and which of them didn't. To film the animatic, we used a Sony NX5 camera and Adobe Premiere Pro to edit the clips together. To create our music video, we used a video camera called the Sony FS100. This is a high-quality, unfixed lens camera. We also used a tripod.
We used an iPad as a countdown instead of using a clapperboard. This was used later in post-production to match the track and the video. A sound box present alongside a sound technician. This box also controlled the lighting. The original track was played from the speakers, and the band played over it while recording. The lighting was controlled and fit in with the performance. Limitations of music video form require elaborate and expressive editing. We tried to make the selective and appropriate use of shot transitions, capture and other effects so that meaning is apparent to the viewer. We used the Adobe Premiere Pro as well as Adobe After Effects, and the first step was to upload the footage to the Mac computer. After reviewing the footage, we created a folder called Rushes. We then distinct folders for the narrative and performance were created.
We edited the group performance first. It was very important to lip-sync the shots to the soundtrack and playback first as well as match in action to make the performance to look natural and coherent. Several takes allowed us to choose the best shots to use, and this was really helpful because in some places actors did not match the lines. It was important to listen to the song very precisely to reinforce some instrumental sounds using images. For example, when the guitar was heard, we put the guitarist on the screen. When the performance cut was finished, we started to edit narrative. Unlike AS, the editing of the narrative was far more complex, including multiple layers, complex transitions, island matching, cross-cutting, parallel editing, and else. For example, to show a silent communication when there were not speech and the context was shown only by body movements and eye contact, we use a meat grinder to process the meat in order to show that if the person doesn't follow the instructions given by another man, another gang member is going to suffer. To deliver this preferred reasoning, it was very important to make the right editing decisions. For example, eyeline matches, depth of field, and other have to be done very precisely.
After creating small narrative sequences, they were put on the timeline. Then their order had been changed several times to create a desired narrative. This is called a sequential order to create cause and effect. Eventually, these narrative sequences were put on to the top performance. At the end, we also used finishing, colouring and grading tools to complete the overall look of the video. It works by bringing elements together for a final product so that the colour, contrast and saturation are consistent throughout the video. The fast colour corrector options display helped us to adjust the tonality of the video. For example, we added more whites when the image was a bit too dark. Then we added some brown colour to the performance to give it a more old-fashioned, bluesy feel, as well as the blue tone to the narrative to add more cold effect.